Hey Hatch Tribe, I got a little story for you today, and this has been coming up so frequently with the women that I spend a lot of time with. And it's the idea of how we are comparing ourselves to others, especially as business owners. All right? So today's message is I want you to stop measuring your success by someone else's yardstick. Stop measuring your success by someone else's yardstick. What do I mean by that? Well, here's what's happening in today's day and age. The gift and the curse that we have is that we can see what's happening at any moment in time in virtually anyone's life and in business by virtue of social media. Blessing and a curse. On one hand, it's really cool because I can keep in touch with a lot of friends and companies and things that are happening that are really neat all over the world. On the other hand, guess what happens? We start to look at these other things that are happening in other people's lives and other companies, and what do? Well, we compare. We start to think like, well, where do I stack up against this? And am I doing as well as this person? Is my company doing as well as this one? Am I doing everything I need to be? Shit, I don't have as many likes as this person. I don't have as many engaged fans. I don't know if I even like the way my feed looks anymore. Oh my God, their products are better than mine. Their services are cooler than mine. Shit. And then suddenly we're in this very crappy mental state of thinking, I don't measure up. But here's the thing. That's someone else's yardstick. It wasn't your own. And oftentimes we really have to reflect back about what really is inside of us, because success and how we define it is deeply personal. Whatever success means to you, I want you to know that beyond a shadow of a doubt. I want you to write that crap down too, so that you can reflect back on it on moments in time where you see someone else's work and it raises that comparison flag and you think, oh crap. No, just go reread what you want success to be and then reflect on that. Am I living up to the values of what I want to achieve in my own life and what success looks like for me and for my business? So I wanted to offer you today 3 tips for staying in your own lane, because I think that's what this is really all about. We can look at other people's work and other people's lives and find a lot of inspiration, but I think the key is we have to stay in our own lane in order for us to stay healthy and for us to stay happy 100% of the time. So my 3 tips are as follows. Step number 1. I want you to limit the amount of time and the amount of information that you're really letting come in. So let me give you a really good example. I worked with a client recently who said to me, I feel like there's all these things that I want to do, but I just can't figure out where to go next. And so as she rattled off all these different ideas of things she wanted to pursue in her business, I said, okay, well, what are you doing during the course of the day? One of the things we quickly discovered is that she was in content consumption mode all the time. So from the time she woke up in the morning, she was turning on podcasts, reading blogs, looking at other people's social media, and taking in a lot of other people's stuff. And by virtue of that, it was creating a lot of ideas, but also a lot of anxiety around what she thought she needed to be doing in her own business. So what I told her was take a breather. Let's take a pause. Let's pull off a little bit on this content consumption so we can really tap into our own inner voice. And so I encourage you to really limit the amount of time that you are using these platforms and consuming content so that you can get a little more clear with how you feel inside. Now, step number 2, when you are in the process of consuming content, be it social media, podcasts, blogs, books, etc., I want you to notice what triggers you. Notice what triggers you. There are probably some people or some businesses or some accounts that as soon as you experience them, you immediately go to comparison mode. I have been through this many times, and I will tell you the first thing I do is I block them. So if it's on social media, I'm just like, I can't see this every day. And it doesn't mean that I don't like their business or think what they're doing is really cool. It's just that inside of me, it's triggering an emotion that is not productive. It's not helping me feel at my best and feel like I'm doing really good work. And so I just block it. And so let's say that that's when you listen to a certain podcast and you're like, oh man, I really don't have my shit together, but this person totally does. Stop listening to it. Or if it's a book or a blog, stop reading it. Whatever it is, if it triggers you, let it go. Be done with it. The last thing, number 3. And I know this is going to sound a little harder than the words. I want you to do you. I mean it. You have to do you, and that's what's inside of you, and only you will really know that. So when clients come to work with me, and I often reflect that back to them, I'm like, what is it that you really want to do? And after they've stopped consuming a bunch of content, after they've really let go of things that trigger them, what they find is that their own inner gut and intuition start to show up. So they're able to marry together the data that they already know from their business and all the things that are already working, that they have actual facts for, and then they can listen in to their own gut and intuition and combine those two forces, and that is powerful. You need data to run a business and to do it powerfully, and you need your own gut and intuition to steer you in the direction you need to go. When you get quiet enough, you'll be able to experience both, and that is when we can really find our own inner voice and the ability to make good decisions around what we want to do personally. So do you, follow you, because again, your definition of success is uniquely personal to you. It's no one else's. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. It doesn't matter what your best friend's doing. It doesn't matter what that competitor in your space is doing, because you should be following your business and what you need to do and what needs to happen for your industry, right? It isn't about everybody else. Your definition of success is about you, and follow that wholeheartedly. All right. So remember, the key message here is don't measure your success by someone else's yardstick. Stick to your own. All right. I love you so much. Go out and do you. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all.